So it's hotting up in Cincinnati as round 3 draws to a close. Jannik Sinner going through yet again with an impressive win against Diallo. Carlos Alcaraz doing it in straight sets this time, proving that he is improving. And we had Raducanu versus Sabalenka, a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But that wasn't the talking point come the end. There was a problem in the crowd. That's right, and before we go anywhere, give us a like on the video and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Let's get stuck into round 3 action, and I will go through some of the round 4 matches that will be coming up later on, and there'll be tomorrow as well. But there's only one place to start, and I think we have to start with the Brit. What a performance from Emma Raducanu to start off with. I thought it was going to be a straight sets win for Sabalenka. I was wrong. And this was a really, really good performance. I think it just proves how much she's improving as a player at the moment. 3 hours and 12 minutes on court against the world number 1. And yeah, to come back from the first set down, to only lose 2 sets in tie breaks, I thought was impressive as well. And 7-5 in the final set, deciding tie break. Well done to her. I think she's just playing some fantastic tennis at the moment. It's really an upward trajectory. Despite the loss here, you can take so many positives away from this defeat. And she said this after the match, Emma. She said, I've done well for the most part against players around my ranking. And that's a lot of confidence for me. The next step is the very top. And she is right. She seems to be defeating players in and around the 30 mark or below. Yeah, with like quite a lot of ease in some cases. But this match just proves that she can hang with the best player on the women's tour right now. A lot of people weren't really talking about that during the match. A lot of people came to one incident. And I'd love to know what everybody at home thinks about this incident as well. And it was Emma Raducanu complaining to the umpire about, obviously, noises coming from the crowd. We've had stuff like this in the past. Surely it's the umpire's place to step in. And that's what Raducanu was hoping for. She said, it's been 10 minutes. The referee said, it's a child. Do you want me to take a child off the court? And Emma said, yeah, well, I think she alluded to yes. And a lot of the spectators in the stands, you heard them all go, yes, they answered the umpire. Crazy, really, that a player has to be the one to make a complaint. And for me, it's the umpire's duty. I don't care if it's a child. I don't care who it is. It could be a dog. It could be anything making a noise in the crowd. Whoever is the owner or is the actual culprit, they should be asked to go off the court until they can be quiet and let play resume normally. Tell me if you think that I am correct or not. Do you think that the umpire was a little bit trying to pass the buck, really, of not wanting to have to get a child off the court? Like, she's essentially trying to make Emma Raducanu look bad with this question. Don't know why. I think it should be her duty. Could be anyone crying. You would think that the person whose child it was would have the foresight to take their child off the court anyway at a particular interval. But like Raducanu said, it's been 10 minutes. Like, if you're the umpire, if there was no break in play to be able to take the child off the court, you make the break in play and you say, please, just for momentarily, until your child has calmed down, please, can you exit the court? I don't think anyone would have a problem with that. But I think it's up to the parent, really. Come on, use your brain. Think about it. Think of your surroundings. We've seen it many, many cases in life, not just in sport. I've been to many weddings where there's been a crying baby during a service. Guess what happens? They just carry them out and let everything carry on. That should be the same case here. But no, yeah, there's people who become a little bit headstrong. No, I'm sitting, I paid, whatever. I'm not going to cast too much of a shadow over this whole thing, but I just think that the way it was handled by the umpire was incorrect. If you think that I'm just sticking up for Raducanu, that's on you. You can tell me in that comment section, but I think the umpire was in the wrong here. And I think this overshadowed a little bit what was just an excellent performance by Emma Raducanu. And I think you've got to give Sabalenka some credit as well, because she's up against somebody who, on her day, we know Emma Raducanu can win a Grand Slam. Yes, she hasn't given us thoughts that she could ever win another Grand Slam yet since that Grand Slam, but we know the level when she does play her best tennis is Grand Slam winning worthy. So to have these good performances against Sabalenka, she's 0-3 now, but every set they've played against each other has been only a break or a tie break, really. So really, really confidence boosting for Raducanu. But I still think that Sabalenka can get some confidence from it as well, because she was saying afterwards, after these long points, she was feeling old. She'd looked down the other end. Emma was ready. I was still trying to recover my breath. We need to do something. I'm getting old, she said. And she's laughing and said, I'm going to have to speak to my team. It's the first signs of her getting old, she thinks, on a tennis court. The fact her recovering from the previous point wasn't as fast as her opponent. I think that this is something that can obviously be, it can be mitigated, and you can put in a lot more time in the fitness area. But in a match of 3 hours, 12 minutes, I think there are going to be some peaks and troughs. But the main thing is you come out with the victory, and that's what she did. A really, really good performance. She faces Balzas Maniero in the next round and could be a potential quarterfinal matchup with Jelena Rybakina or potentially Madison Keys. Yep. So you see down here, Rybakina, she said that one of her worst serving performances ever. I can't remember how many double faults she hit in this match. I'll just have a quick check. Just 1 second. Yes. So 10 double faults from Rybakina in this match. Not really like her, but she still got the victory. And I think it's not how you win when you're playing well. It's how you win when you're playing ugly tennis. And she did well to get past Mertens. Playing Keys is going to be completely different. She can't afford to have that level of serving, as Keys looks pretty good. She got through Ito straight sets. And it's a battle of Grand Slam champions in the next round. A few of the other players going through. Iga was just with a walkover. We got Sastea going through. We've got Battle of the Russians in the next round. Kalinskaya took out Anisimova pretty comfortably as well. Got an Alexandrova, Kalinskaya. Seidel was having a crazy tournament here. She's into the 4th round. She's knocked out Polina Kudermetova, Emma Navarro, and now McCartney Kessler as well. What a fantastic tournament. And this is like battle of I wouldn't say the unknowns, but pretty much the surprises. Gracheva as well. She obviously did well. She defeated in the qualifying Iva Jovic. And I thought, wow, that could be a match you potentially win, Jovic. But look who she's beaten. Volyanet, she's beaten Kenin, and now she's beating Mukova as well. I have no idea who's going to win that match. Seidel, Gracheva. I think the nod slightly might be towards Gracheva, but who knows with that? Tell me in the comments how you see it going. Yeah, some matches didn't finish due to the weather. We got Paolini out, and she's facing off against Krejcikova, who beat Jovic in 3 sets. So good performance as well, despite the loss for Jovic. She'll learn from that. She'll be back at the US Open. And Goff with a walkover against Yastremska. Bronzetti, probably the big upset of the round, beating Ostapenko. Didn't see that one coming. Right, moving over to the men's, and we've got Carlos Alcaraz. I know we were talking about how he starts slow and then gradually builds up in a tournament. Well, it's happened again, hasn't it? Yep, started off damage took him to 3, and now straight sets win against Medjedovic, 6-4, 6-4. Nice, I would say more comfortable than the scorelines. Well, I'd say the scoreline suggests it was more comfortable than it actually was. There was a few breaks back and forth in that second set as well. But it's his 50th win of the year, leads the tour in wins, 35 of his last 37 matches, and a third round of 16 in Cincinnati. I think this was a brilliant performance. I think Medjedovic, he doesn't have quite the old head that Damir Juma has to handle certain situations, and Carlos definitely knew how to execute some like great shots at good moments in this match. Just when it matters, he put the pressure on, and that's just a sign that he's adjusting not only to just the conditions out there on the court, but to the surface as well. I think he spoke about the court and the heat after the match. He said, when it's so hot, we try and focus almost solely on the serve. I'm from Murcia and it's very hot there. So I'm used to it and I try not to let it affect me. Well, you definitely see that he can handle the heat. Like, that was a very, very hot day. And obviously they've had some stormy weather as well. A lot of rain that interrupted the final matches. But yeah, he was all guns blazing, a lot of fantastic tennis, a lot of sprints. Medjedovic was trying the drop shot, trying to do a bit of a Carlos Alcaraz against him, and it wasn't really working too well. I think got broken on a couple of them. And yeah, I mean, when you're trying to do it against the guy who's the best at it, he sort of shows you up. And Carlos's sprints to the net were really good. Some good net exchanges. Medjedovic won a few of them, but not quite enough. And Carlos through into round 4, where he will be facing a Luca Nardi, who went through against Jakub Mensik, but Mensik did retire from the match. So I expect Carlos to win that, but not Mensik. Nardi has been looking quite good, has beaten Chapo. Mensik retirement. I'd expect Carlos to defeat him, but if Nardi's serving well, like Carlos has said here, the serving is the key in Cincinnati. Let's, as we're just hovering over this one as well, probably a good moment to speak about. And let me know if you think this is true or not. But when Daniil Medvedev seems to be having a torrid time of things, is it just me or Andrei Rublev suddenly steps up because he probably wants to be the best Russian? Obviously, we've got Kalen Khachanov playing pretty well right now, but 3.5-hour battle against Poprin, and he won. He goes into the last 16, and what a performance this was. I think that he just showed just enough at the big moments. In that second set, he was a few points away from potentially losing the match and firing massive forehand winners, was running around the backhand quite a lot to fire them off. You can't give him a high bouncing ball anywhere on the court because he will just run around that backhand and pop a forehand into the corner. And that proved to be the shot that won the match for him as well. Brilliant from Andrei Rublev. He'll be facing Komasana in the next round, which, I'll hold my hands up. I said I thought Opelka would win that one comfortably. Didn't happen, did it? Komasana making me eat my words. And he is through to face Rublev. Rublev probably will fancy his chances there against Komasana. Khachanov went through. He'll probably face Zverev in the next round. And Zverev, that'll be a tough match as well for both players. Shelton, Batista Agut yet to play. And we've got Lehechka will be playing the winner of that. TFO versus Runa, that will be a fantastic matchup. I think that TFO being last year's finalist and Holger Rune actually in some very good form, looked great against Mickelson. That will be very, very exciting. Fritz versus Atman, Fonseca. Unfortunately for him, not a very good tournament. He beat Boo, defeated Fokina after he was a set down due to retirement, and then he went out in straight sets to Atman. Yeah, not finishing the year quite as he started. Fritz looking pretty solid. I expect him to beat Atman. And we move all the way to the top. We got Felix Bonzi. And yeah, another one I got wrong. Big shock when Manarino's on. He's on. He defeats Tommy Paul in 3 sets. And now he faces the world #1 in Jannik Sinner, who is on a 22-match winning streak on hard courts. Players who have had longer hard court winning streaks this century, Roger Federer. He's had a 56, a 36, and a 26. Novak Djokovic, he's had a 35, a 29, a 26, and a 23. Andy Murray with a 28 match winning streak, and Rafael Nadal with a 26. And that's it. So Jannik Sinner, another victory, and he will have equaled Djokovic's lowest one, but he'll be getting his way closer and closer to some of these other big numbers as well. Scary. Was a closer match against Diallo, as I expected. Diallo, a big guy, big server, and really is growing as a player, an exciting player, probably the most exciting player from Canada on the men's side at the moment, I would say personally. But still, Jannik Sinner wasn't that happy and unhappy with his serve. Jannik Sinner did like Rafael Nadal by booking a practice court right after his match. That's during the match as well. He actions to his box. It's just not going well. And they probably have to book it in straight away. So it goes from his match to go to the practice courts to practice his serve. Always trying to improve the game. Not just happy just to win. He won in straight sets as well. It wasn't as straightforward as the first match, which was under an hour, but he just knows how to win. And Diallo, I thought, had a very good performance, but I thought Jannik Sinner in his performance just showed why he's world number one. You can just win in the face of adversity. The first set, nice and comfortable, 6-2. And in the second set, well, it wasn't that straightforward, the second set. It was just literally all on serve up until the tiebreak. And Jannik Sinner is the tiebreak king. He had one set point that he had to face, but after he faced it, he then won the next 3 points. And that was it. So maybe that got in Diallo's head. One set point was all you get. And then it is back to the Sinner show yet again, and yet to drop a set. Up next is Mannarino, which, let me know in the comments, what do you think Mannarino can cause an upset here? Is that crazy to say? I mean, Mannarino is nonchalant, doesn't really care about who's down the other end, and would probably just go and try and smack in the ball around however he feels. He's very flat with his hitting, doesn't really change his game style for anybody. He's never beaten Jannik Sinner, though. They played on 3 occasions. Closest they have ever been was in Montreal back in 2022, and it was a 3-setter that Sinner won. And we know he's much improved since then. I expect Jannik Sinner to get the victory again, probably in straight sets again. But Mannarino, I think he's had a good tournament regardless. But that wraps up round 3 action and a couple of previews for round 4. Tell me who you think is going to go on and win in Cincinnati on the men's and the women's. And tell me your thoughts about that Raducanu baby situation. I want to hear your thoughts. If you haven't done so yet, give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you for more Cincinnati action coming up soon.